They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Not the graphic that this fan base wants to see week 1, Charles. They were hoping to see key acquisitions, some bright spots. Instead, we're talking about injuries, preseason injuries that have guys missing here in this one.
And even in today's football, where everyone does their best to try and have their starters ready for week 1, guys still have to...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
From his goal line here, Watson buying time to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. This complete to David Bell. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On 1st down, Watson. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. They run it again with Chubb. And some room to run now.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. We're scoreless after one. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate. That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, Jackson flushed out right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Now Nick Chubb and the Browns get set for their next possession.
He's been effective so far over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll begin by running the option.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Here's Jackson to throw. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal.
He'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Ravens are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. Cleveland offense making their way out.
They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown, so 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time for Cleveland. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Watson. And he rifles one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw, Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Ward.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To the air yet again. Watson.
Tries the right side, and he finds Bell. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone, and they hit him for the completion for the 1st down.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Watson now to throw. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Watson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
It's 2nd and goal. Back to the 8-yard line now. Now Watson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte, where it was the visiting Bucks who were able to come in and win one on the road. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were winners in that one over the visiting Houston Texans. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes, as his guys are able to get the victory in their season opener. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Patrick Mahomes with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half, and the rushing numbers should tell the story of why they trail at the half. They're still in single digits in yardage as a team through 2 quarters of play. That's not good. Meanwhile, for the Browns, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on to punt for Baltimore. This is brought in at the 21. Cooper fast with the feet, and he'll be out right at the 35.
A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They begin this drive with Chubb. They find some open field here.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 96 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. And Chubb will try the middle here. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
When you spend your first-round pick on a pass rusher, you are absolutely counting on him to be an impact player. And there you go. Right away, he gets to the quarterback.
And guess what? Likely the first of many that we're going to see from that young man.
So on 4th down, Kevin Stefanski trots out the field goal unit.
He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Rodgers brings it in. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Now it's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. Throw complete there, Rodgers. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Tucker's kick is good, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
4th quarter, they cling to a 3-point lead after the field goal a moment ago, and it's certainly a very critical drive with still a good chunk of time remaining.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Again on the ground, again it's Ward. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll go option to the short side.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th. They'll try the air now with Watson.
He's got Njoku over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Chubb will get the call running left. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to swell the lead to 6. And his kick is indeed good, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 6. Just over a minute 40 to play. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. Throwing, Jackson. That's going to be caught by Tony. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Here's Jackson. And that's incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a week 1 victory. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1.
Well, partner, that'll do it. These week 1 primetime games, they always seem to have a little bit more electricity, a little more anticipation. A fun one tonight, and a lot of fun ones that we have on the road ahead.
And, partner, I love the word you just used there, electricity. Things were crackling out there, weren't they? And let's face it, both of these teams came in with the idea, get off to the start. Get off to a 1-0 start and get your season going. That could spark an excellent season for them. They've got that in their pocket now.
So for Cleveland, it's a great win here on a Monday night as they'll start the new campaign 1-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the LA Rams come to town. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they go down to defeat here in the opener.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.